La ya la 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 ya la la la. Di da da. Oh da da da. Okay, Rabbi Yisai. Shemamish Bizoicha. All the brachas of the Torah. Let's continue through this theme. B'siyata d'shmaya. We're learning a piece of Talmud from Sota 21a. And let's just go over the Gemara. And then we're learning that this entire Gemara is really being hinted to through this Torah. That Rav Nachman is giving us guidance on how to fix ourselves, on how to move through the darkness of the night called Olam Hazeh, how to give us a torch, how to give us guidance so that we can save ourselves from the koitzim, the pchosim, from thorns and pits, from wild animals, beasts, and ultimately get to the Parshas Drachim, to get to the fork in the road and know how to go and where to go. And that's going to be the end of the story, which is really the beginning of the story. Yom HaMisa is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. We should all live until 120 years. Ezrat Hashem. So let's go into this Torah once again. So it begins Ches. So we're by Torah Daled Ches. And with Hashem's help, let's just quickly see Ches. And then get to all of the guidance. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. She'akol nibidvaroi. I love that Motzi Shavuos voice, where you've just been singing Torah Hashem to me non-stop. It's like the Simchas Torah, Motzi Simchas Torah. So says the Rebbe in Ches, with Torah Daled, Ois Ches. V'zeu she'amru chachamenu zechoinu livrocha, and this is what the rabbis taught us. Moshel le'echad shehaya mahalach baderech, an analogy of somebody that was going on the path. Be'ishon laila, in the middle of the night. Va'afela, in darkness. Umisyarim min hakoitzim, he's afraid of the thorns. Min hapchosim, he's afraid of pits. Umechayira, he is afraid of wild animals, velistim, and bandits. Ve'eni yodeh be'ezeh derech mahalech, and he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know how to navigate. Now you don't have this. It says v'chulei by you. So I'm reading now the rest of the Gemara. Nizdamen lo yavuka, and all of a sudden he finds a torch, shel or, of light. So now he has light. He's not in darkness anymore. So nitzol men hakoitzim, he's saved from the thorns because he could see where to go. Umen hapchosim, and he can see where the pits are. V'adayin misyar, but he's still afraid because the fact that he has a torch doesn't mean he can save himself from the wild beasts. Umisyarim min achayira min alistim. Ve'eni yodeh be'ezeh derech mahal, but he also still doesn't know where to go. Okay, he's not going to fall into a pit anymore, and he's not going to be stabbed by thorns, but he doesn't know where to go. He's a lost soul. This is the Torah, by the way, Rabbi said Torah Dal is the Torah of the lost soul. And even though there is such a musig of the wandering Jew, and there have been many that have been wandering over the years, and even though there were many tzaddikim that would put themselves into a self-imposed gullus, the Vilna Gaon, Rebbe Reb Zusha, the Rebbe Melech, they would put themselves into self-imposed gullus to be wandering Jews. and they would wander around because there's something that purifies from being a wandering Jew. But there's only so long that we could wander. There's only so long before we come home. So this Torah Dalet is the Torah of the wandering Jew. So he's wandering and he's wandering. He doesn't know where to go. But as soon as day breaks, so he's saved now, at least from the wild animals and the bandits, because they slink back into their lair. But still he's lost. You want to say something else? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The clarity. And I think this is what this is pointing out, is that we could mamish be living our life, it's daytime, everything is fine, but we're still lost and wandering around. That was the Chazal. So then we went into a long explanation, if the Olam remembers, of all the midos rois, all the bad character traits. Let's just see that very quickly, and then go into all the tikkunim. Ki zeh yedua. It's well known. Shekol amidas rois, all of my bad character traits, v'toldo yisayim, and everything that comes out of those, the avos and the toldos, nimshochem ha'arba yisoidus, they come from the four yisoidus, doimem tzemeach chaim medaber, and the four yisoidus of eish, mayim, ruach, afar, the four yisoidus, and they all link up, and they all correspond to the arba moros, the four humors. Mm-hmm. What were the four humors? Bile. Oh, which color bile?
Black.
Black bile corresponds to what? Afar, very good. And afar corresponds depression, laziness. What are the other biles?
White bile.
Yoroik. Yellow bile. Yellow green. Red bile. And white bile. And these are all the midas rois. The midas rois. So the Rebbe goes through it. Atzvus v'toil, they say depression and all things that are depression causing. Nimshachem doimem, he's come from doimem, from the mineral life. Taivus rois, bad taivus. They told us nimshachem et tzoimeach, comes from tzoimeach. Devarim betelim is of course ruach, dvarim betelim. Told us nimshachem mechaye, gaive. Told us nimshachem ben daber. And essentially what the Rebbe wants to teach us is all of my bad midas, all of my midas rois, these elements of doimim tzoimeach chaim medaber, they're not bad. What's bad about minerals? What's bad about quartz crystal? There's nothing bad about it. What's bad about someach? What's bad about chai and medaber? It's only if it's misused. If you misappropriate these midas, then it's very bad. That's what's bad about it. And then the Rebbe says, if you and I want to go in a good way in life, remember this is the Torah of the wandering Jew. So tzarech l'shaber kol amidas rois, we need to break those bad midas. V'yisaper lifnei Talmud Chacham, and we need to say in front of a Talmud Chacham, Dahaina vidu idvarim, v'haTalmud Chacham yefarish leiderech levishurish nishmasai. When I can say the things that I've done wrong in front of the tzaddik, so the tzaddik can hear the words that I'm saying, and he can give me guidance based on the Shorish Neshama. Now, in a certain way, we learned all the way in the beginning that Tzaddikim said that do you have to do this in front of Mamish, a Talmud Chacham? Or you can go up to Reb Shimon's Kever? Or you can go to the Kaisel? Or you can go to Uman and do this? Also, you have something to contribute?
I was going to say, both.
So what we're going to learn now is that there's 3 parts of the journey, and that the Vidui Devarim before the Talmud Chacham is the end of the journey. And that's where he actually shows you the way to go in life. That if you're in this place of Parshas Drachim, that he's going to show you the way to go in this world. He's going to give us guidance on how to move in this world. So what are the first 2? What are the first 2? The first 2 tikkunim, the first 2 fixings. So, what were the first problems of this person in the story?
Those were the problems.
The problems were the koitzim and the pchosim. What were the koitzim?
The holes in the thorns.
The holes in the thorns. I mean, this guy's having a problem. He's in the middle of some wild Australian outback, in the middle of the night, the new moon, you can't see a single thing. It's dark. He's lost. And there's trees covering the stars, the night sky. It's pasha black. You can't even see a hand in front of your face. He's afraid. He's afraid. So he's afraid that he's gonna go into some poison ivy or something. He's gonna trip and poke himself. He's also afraid that he's gonna fall. Remember, people booby trap these places all the time. He's in some Amazonian rainforest. He doesn't want to fall into some hole. So he needs to save himself from those things. So the pit corresponds to what? To the mineral, literally earth. The earth is going to damage him. So what we're saying is, this is all an analogy. The earth element inside of you is going to damage you. Yossel.
I was thinking about how like the earth is like the bottom hay, and what you were sharing before about like the hay at the bottom, like in terms of tshuva, how you could come back. To the top,
Falling into the
fall
pit.
to the pit, and then you could go around to the top.
Beautiful. Namish. Falling into the pit, it is the hay. It's the hay acharena. Beautiful, that's the pit. Beautiful. Falling out the bottom of the hay. So he's afraid, but it's the mineral. It's the mineral inside of him. It's the depression. It's interesting, we even use that language. He fell into depression. He's falling into the afar. He's falling into depression. You don't say, he fell into Gaiva. Gaiva, we know, is the higher one, is going up.
What about filling love?
I really wanted.
That's the taivas. It's interesting, we also use like taivas. You know, he fell for his taivas. He fell into taivas. He fell into taivas. So we seem to have that languaging, even though that's tsoimeach. But definitely he fell into depression. And that's going to be the mineral problems. What's the tsoimeach? Is the koitzim. Is the thorns. So those are all what is the thorn problems in his nefesh? is taivas. Because water, which is taivas, make all plant life, which means geschmack zachen, to grow. Now, that could either be something that's good for you, or that could be a thorn. Which means if it's making plant life grow in a non-healthy way, so then we have thorny experiences. So he's afraid of these thorns. He's moving through this world, but he's concerned that thorns may attack him. He's concerned of that. So there's three ways. The yesh shalosh bechinas back inside. Biskarvis letzadikim. It's interesting. There's three ways to get close to tzadikim. That by doing so, sha'ali de'ezeh shalosh bechinas elu nistaken akol. You could fix everything. And we said, what's the ultimate? We didn't even mention this. What's the chayes rois and the listim? Chayes rois is chay, and listim is medaber. Chayes rois is animal life, bad expression of animal, which is air, which is ruach, right? When ruach goes wrong, it says devarim betelim. It said is not doing the right things in tzvat. Late sonas. And then medaber is gaiva, is eish, is human life, is mamish gaiva, eish. So he's afraid that he's going to fall into these things. But even if he doesn't fall into these things, what's he still afraid? What's he still worried about? Say again? No, he got his torch, no more thorns and animals and the bandits, no problem. At daybreak. He doesn't know where he's going. Which means even after he has fixed all these problems of the four bad midas, the four categories of bad midas, he's a nice guy, Tom McDonald, sweet man, always says top of the morning to you. He's not a balgaiva, law-abiding citizen, takes out his garbage on time, leaves it by the curb nicely, friendly, always the guy that will do the airport pickup. What a friend, the airport pickup friend. I think that was a whole thing in Seinfeld one time. Is he an airport pickup friend? Or a middle of the night friend? Like if you need something, he's that guy. Tom McDonald is that guy. But at the end of the day, there's something, an existential lost. I don't know where I'm going. Late at night, Tom McDonald looks at himself in the mirror. It's like, I'm doing everything right, but I don't seem to know exactly where I'm going. I went to all the personal help seminars. I read every one of Tony Robbins' books. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I just don't know where I'm going, though. I got a nice business. I give charity. I don't know where I'm going. So that's still what's left. Even after the Midas Rois are completed, there's still a feeling of I don't know where I'm going. So let's build up now how to make the tikkunim. And the ultimate tikkunim is not just to get over the thorns and the pit and the chayes rois and the listim. But when I get to the parshas drachim of my life, when I get to the crossroads of life, I wake up and I know how to march forward. I know where I'm going. I know what to do. So says the Rebbe now. The Elu Shalosh Bechinas. These three levels. Habachina Rishona. What's the first way to start making the fixing? Kishiroya Esat Tzadik. And this is what we were speaking about last time. When you see the Tzaddik's face.
First step, right?
First step. The first step is going to see the Tzaddik. And that's what we're doing on a Friday night. And we all daven together and we go to Rebbe Shemaiah for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So what's that all about? And what does that correspond to also in the Gemara? What was the corresponding idea in the Gemara there? It was getting the torch. Getting the avuka. And what was the avuka there to solve for us in the problem of the man walking at night? The thorns in the holes. So going to see the tzaddik is like getting a torch. Getting the torch. Kisharoya sat tzaddik kamoisha kosav, like the posuk says, V'hayu einecha royas es moirecha, that your eyes will behold your master. And we explained that Rebbe explained that he's greater than his peers. Why? Because Rebbe saw the back of the head of Rebbe Meir one time. And he said, if I would have seen the front of his face.
Moshe did? When he saw the back of Hashem,
Kaviyachal. And there are people that will tell you that they saw certain great people one time and it emblazoned something in their heart. Seeing Rabbi Yosha's face was very powerful. Reb Chaim, the Rosh Hashiva. To be by big people. People who said they saw the Chafetz Chaim's face. It changes us. It changes us. It's giving you a torch. They are the torch. Essentially what's happening is they're spreading forth a light. Because they are the Torah. They are symbols of Torah. And then we went into this beautiful explanation. So let's see it inside. And this idea of seeing the tzaddik, which is getting the torch, is going to cancel out all the bad midas, which comes from the two yisoidus of doimim and soimeach, which is atzvus, v'tol loiseim, and taivus rois. Which means going to the tzaddik has this power of getting me out of depression and getting me out of my taivus rois. So how does it do that? How does it get me out of my depression and my taivus?
When Yosef and Tzaddik saw Yaakov Avinu's face, it helped him break out of his taivus.
Mamish.
So when you have the face for Tzaddik, it reminds you what's the emes.
An example.
Nachman does? Say again.
In an example, if there's a light out there, the passing on the torch is just seeing the person. That means that the person is the torch.
He is the torch, yes.
So I think it's
So you're getting the light.
a living example.
You see, it's interesting. The Rebbe is going to bring this amazing idea now, where he says, seeing the face of the tzaddik is like coming back to your source. It's like coming back to where you come from. Because he represents this light of Hashem's Torah. And we all come from that place. So when you spend time with the tzaddik, it's like it's reminding you, of really who you are. Because we got a bit lost along the way. And therefore when you were reminded of you, who you really are, and you think about all the taivas rois, and you think about all the nourishkeit that you got involved in, and all the Candy Crush addiction, and all the atzvus of like, I can't and I don't want, and all the atzvus, I'm lazy, I don't know if I can. And you come back to who you are though. And who you are is kulei eish. Who you are is kulei passion. Who you are is kulei commitment to Hashem. And you see that in the face of the tzaddik. So all of a sudden in 1 second, all the nourishkeit just goes away. All the atzvus just melts away. And he brings the most amazing proof of this, of the mother and the baby. I love this. It's so good. The mother and the baby. Ki tzaddik ador nikra aim. The righteous leader of the generation is called the mother of the generation. It's called the mother. Al shem shu meinikli Yisrael ba'or teirasei. Because the tzaddik is literally nursing and giving forth Torah to the generation. Is giving Torah to the generation. We're literally nursing, so to speak, from the Torah of the tzaddik. So the tzaddik's called a mother. Just like a mother nurses the kids. And the kids are drawing forth life from the mother. So too, the Rosh Hashiva is giving forth his life-giving Torahs to the generation. Mamish. I one time went on the JK website. Jerusalem Kollel. Doesn't stand for just Kiddush. It's mamish, the tikkun for just Kiddush. So the JK website, and then it says who we are and where we're located, what we do, and then there was a button for our alumni that we've sent into the field. Our alumni that we sent in the field. So I was like, I'm interested. Like how many people tachlis have gone out into the field? Mamish field operatives. How many shluchim has the Rebbe sent out into the field to build schools, to build campus life, communities? How many shluchim has JK sent out? So I went, and one of the indications of how long a page is you see the scroll bar on the side. The scroll bar. So I clicked on it, and I saw that the scroll bar was rather large, and I started going down. I said, okay, this large means it's not such a long page. And as I started scrolling down the page, the scroll bar started getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it was a sliver. It was mamish, this tiny scroll bar. And I realized this page is not ending. And basically, and I think others have come to the conclusion, that there's nobody that sent more shluchim out besides the Lubavitcher Rebbe. And at this point, it could be toe-to-toe. And the Rosh Hashiva Rav Berkowitz Shlita, Mamish. And he's still sending out shluchim into the field. And it's all from his Torah. Just like the Lubavitcher Rebbe basically never left 770 and the oil to visit his shver. The Rosh Hashiva has not left Eretz Yisrael. 55 years.
And his shluchim are mashpia on so many other. It's like Moshe Rabbeinu at the top, just setting it down to it trickles down.
Lubavitcher Rebbe also. The mom is going out and teaching. It's true, the JK is sending out soldiers into the world. So he's the aim. And you don't even realize the blessing you have every day. You could just ask the Rosh Yeshiva Shilas, he's here in the halls, like, makes himself like Pashut here, walks around. Guys give him hugs and high fives and stuff. You just... The opportunity you have is unbelievable. Somebody said recently, I was telling him, like, you should spend time with the Rosh Yeshiva. He's like, he's hard to, reach. I said, go to his philosophy shir. There's like a couple chevra there. You have 40 minutes of just schmoozing. It's not normal. And David Shloim and Yosela. And it's mamish. It's like a hawking.
Every other Sunday he has a chabura for Kira. This yesterday it was just me and David Shlomo and another yid, just us three. We're just getting
Unbelievable.
How do you get the schedule?
You just got to know it. And you just got to be involved.
You gotta know,
You just got to be involved. You got to be involved. So the tzaddik is the aim. The aim, we understand anatomy. The mother is nursing the baby, is giving life-giving energy to the baby. Nursing the baby. So the tzaddik is giving forth life-giving powers to the generation. And the Torah nikreis chalav, which is also very appropriate. We just had Shavuos. The Torah is called milk. So the tzaddik, which is the mother, is nursing the generation with the milk of his Torah. Pardon?
What about the honey?
Chalav davash, tachas l'shoinech. The mother's milk is sweet. The mother's milk is like honey with milk mixed together. It's mamish life-giving. The mother's milk is everything. And then he says the most amazing, amazing idea. V'zeh anu roim b'chush, and we see this practically. Kishehatinu ku ba'atzvus va'atzlus. You got a little baby. The baby is like, crying. That's also, I'm a bit tired. Our baby wasn't sleeping last night. What happens? Kisharoyas imoy. The second the baby sees the mama, what happened? Hunis oirer, bizrizas godel likrois imoy. Immediately what happens? The baby is just in a lebedik, goes to the mother. The baby was sad, in depression, atzvus and atzlus, koitzim, pchosim. We'll see that this is the pchosim. The next one is the koitzim. The baby is in some pit of despair. And what? Sees the mom, all of a sudden everything's fine. Everything's fine. Bizrizas God likreisi mahainal sharshay. Those are the two words. Because when the child sees his mother, he's going back to his essence. He's going back to his shoyrish. So when somebody's down and they see the face of the tzaddik, it's like going back to a mother and you're receiving the life-giving nectars from the tzaddik. That's why you could, I'm saying just on a personal level, I could be going through whatever I'm going through, and I go and I see Rabbi Shimar, and immediately there's like, you're uplifted. Immediately. Takes you out of the pit. He pulls you to something bigger. So that's the first mashal. And then the Rebbe says another layer of the mashal, which is so good. Gamanu roim b'chush. We also see practically. When chush means we see this in our feeling state. Chush means like your chushim. Feel it. It also means practically, like I'm giving you an example of something that you see personally in your life.
Kind of in relation to yourself.
Yes, yes, perfect. Excellent translation. Chush means the feeling state of it. That you feel this, you know this. You see this. Chush is like your chushim, your senses.
Is that what God named his son?
Yes, chushim. You feel this with your senses. Then when you see a little kid who's playing with some shtuyot, the example we gave is some plastic cup. One of these chad pami plastic cups, and the kid is like playing with it. Now, by the way, if one of the older brother takes the thing away, the kid will scream. Plastic cup, but he's playing with it. It can be literally the littlest narishkeit. Mom. But the kid is playing with it. It's a taiva, and it has a taiva good. Afal pishesh like taiva gedoyla lizah. The kid is a taiva. It's like loving the cup. It's osek with the cup. It's so involved with the cup. However, the kid is like in the corner of the room. The mother walks in. The kid jettisons the cup and just runs to the mama. What do you mean? You're involved in such a taiva gedoyla. It's because, again, when the child is going to their shoyrish, when they see where they come from, which means when you and I see where we come from, we immediately jettison our taivas. So the first step in our journey through the darkness of this world and not being subject to falling into the pit and not being subject to getting poked by the thorns. And those are the two midas rois of atzvus and taiva. The first tikkun is going to the tzaddik. Just seeing the tzaddik and understanding the or, ponecha, the life-giving chalav, the life-giving nectars that are coming from the tzaddik. You got to show up. If you don't come to the Rosh Yeshiva philosophy, you're not going to get it.
How do you record it?
No, you can't. Recording. Recording, you get a diminished version. In person is where it's at. All the recordings, Rabbi Yisrael, by the way, is all diminished versions. It's all diminished.
Why is that though? Because like the solids, like face, just the symbol of them, they're a symbol of Torah.
It's true. There's a tzimtzum. It's more removed. The energy has been degraded. Not the same when you mamish go to the tzaddik. And that's why there's so much of this world is becoming all virtual. And that's a problem. It has a benefit that people are becoming more connected in a certain way, but as a downgrade, that people are having a hard time with actual face-to-face relationships. Like looking in people's eyes, being able to actually be present, to see and be seen, which is the mitzvah of Re'iyah. Yiroi kol es kol zochorcha pnei Adon Hashem, to come to the base of English and see and be seen. Yes, Harry.
When you're around the big tzaddik, is it like is it the same kind of idea as like in just kind of, I guess, greater society that you shouldn't be like staring, or is there like a kind of different idea?
No, you can stare.
They get it.
They know. Yeah, no, they know. They know. They know what this is all about. I wouldn't be like googly-eyed or something. But to look at the tzaddik for sure. They know these Torahs.
So we had a Shabbaton in Tveria a couple weeks back, Gesher, and the hotel was right next to a Rav Kook shul.
Yeah.
Did you go there?
Yeah, it was
Interesting.
it was a treat to watch him daven. It was very.
You went, Baruch Hashem.
We went there for Kiddush.
You went there for Kiddush?
Yeah, he was
In general, it was just literally right next to the hotel. So
That's
he-
great news.
Nobody
Yeah,
fucking.
we were popping in and out the whole time.
Yeah, he damaged one effort for like one day.
A day.
I don't know, for a long time. I think when we finished, he was still vomiting, and then I think people people went there after like the Tisha Friday night.
There are many great people that believe that he may be the holiest human being in the world.
Well, should ever foolish like
Amen.
Yeah.
Shlema mamish. Dov ben Shoshana, HaKohen. Meaning, if the Beis HaMikdash is built today, then likely he would be the Kohen Gadol. The Rosh Shiva could be the Levi Gadol. The Yanuka could be the Yisrael Gadol. There's big things. There's big things happening. So when you go to the tzaddik, he's healing. But it's not like everything in Reb Nachman you notice is like lumdish. It's not a fluffy thing. There's lumdis here. Where's the healing happening from? There's a technology. The healing is happening because you're receiving the ore from the tzaddik, and he is the makor of Torah of the generation, and therefore you're receiving that light, which is the life-giving nourishment. And just like when a child sees their source, so they remove themselves from their depression and they jettison their taivas, so you and I also are able to get out of the pit and stop the thorns of taiva from affecting us.
How do you help someone else who's not connected to Allah?
Take them to the tzaddik.
Because it all starts with them. Because you go to the tzaddik, you have to literally go. Going to the Rosh Yeshiva is like here. Just it happening is not going to affect you. I mean, probably won't, but, you know.
It is affecting, but there's something about going to the tzaddik. There's something about seeing the face of the tzaddik.
When you bring it tzaddik to someone else, you bring them.
That was the beginning of the story. The Baal Shem actually came to see the person. If the tzaddik knocks on your door, then matov manoim. And there were many tzaddikim that would go to people's houses. We talked about Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld. He would knock on people's houses that he felt had shalom bayis problems.
Do you remember that Yid who wished that the tzaddik would come to him, and then the Yanuka just showed up? And was like,
Mamish. That was such a good moment. We were by the Yanuka for a bris, and this Yid was with us, such a sweet Yid. And he said, he'd traveled a long way and a lot of expense to get there. And there was a lot of people there, and he just felt like he would have gotten more from the experience.
You're allowed to wish.
To wish? Of course you could wish.
I just say, I wish it was right.
I pray, he's davening. So he wished, he was praying. And everything had ended, and the tzaddik was long gone. And there were so many people also, like he didn't get access, and he was a bit lamenting at the fact that he understood that this is a person that in his presence the mute have spoken and the blind begin to see. And he felt that, I just wish that tzaddik would just come to me like right now, and literally out of nowhere, out of thin air, the Yanuka just shows up. I was standing with Yossel, and this holy Yid, the Yanuka just shows up and he's like, "Hi guys." Like totally casually. Like put his arm around us. It's like, "What's going on?" And this Yid turned white. I think he even said I need a sign. I need a sign. I wish it would just come right now. Hi guys. I'm not playing. Yossel was there.
That was 2 weeks ago? And
That was a month ago, 2 months ago.
yeah, a couple months ago.
oh, there were, I thought you were at his son's wedding.
And lo zachiti. So that's the first step, is going to the tzaddik.
Should you go to a tzaddik that really connects to you, or just tzaddik in general?
Then the answer is twofold. There are big tzaddikim that connect to all of us. They're called Shoresh Neshama, like a root soul for the entire generation. Then there's also tzaddikim within different branches of your tribe, within leaders of your tribe. It's called Sarei Alofim, Sarei Meos, like leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50s, 10s. There's different echelons of leadership, and therefore there will be people that you'll connect to each step along the way. Then there'll be the tzaddik of the generation, which everybody will connect to. So yes, you can go to the bigger the better in certain ways. However, we'll see as we get to the end of the story, it seems to be that the tzaddik has to relate to your shorish neshama. He has to relate to you to provide guidance for you. Remember, there's a technology here. Right now we're just talking about seeing him. And that's going to remove the bottom two problems. The atzvus and the taivas. Atzvus and taivas. Because you're connected to your makor, to your source. So I want to continue with this tomorrow, then go to the second thing. Because the second thing is fascinating. It has to do with money. It has to do with tzedakah. It has to do with money and tzedakah. And we'll see how that will factor in to this Torah. So may Hashem mamish bless us. Hashem, we don't want to be walking around in darkness anymore. We want to understand how to find our tikkun, how to come to our fixing in this world. Hashem, we want to come and receive the torch of light. We want the Aloisa Shachar, the daybreak. And ultimately we want to come to the Parshas Drachim, to that fork in the road, and understand where to go and how to navigate this world. Because Hashem, we want to do what we need to do in this world, to give you nachas, Hashem. It's the ultimate reason that we're here, just to give you nachas, or nachat. Oh, I just want to make sure the Sfar know what I'm saying. So Bezrat Hashem, may Hashem mamish bless us. What did we see today in summary? We saw the entire story of the Gemara, of going at night, be'ishan laila va'afela, and being afraid. And the fear here is, I don't want to trip. I don't want to fall into my taivas rois. Hashem, I don't want to stumble in this world. I don't want to fall into depression. I don't want to fall into taivas. I don't want to fall into dvarim b'teilim and lightheadedness and haughtiness and gaiva. Hashem, I want to navigate this world properly. I want to know where to go even after I've fixed my midas. So show me what my mission is. What am I supposed to be doing in this world? Me, Yitzchak, Lent, in this world. What's my ultimate mission? Eliyahu Yitzchak. My ultimate mission in this world. Give me a Gilui Eliyahu. Give me a revelation of Elijah the prophet, to guide my way in this world, of what I'm here to do on the positive, not just not to fall into the negative, but how to navigate and go in the positive. I want guidance, what my soul is here to contribute, Hashem, to your beautiful world. It's very important to me, very dear to me, Hashem. And we said the first step in that is seeing the face of the tzaddik, which is like going back to one's source, because the tzaddik is like the mother, and the mother gives life-giving sustenance to the baby. And when the baby sees the mother, the baby runs to the mother and throws away its taivas and gets out of its sadness. And tomorrow we're going to go on to the next phase of how to heal the problems that come about through gaiva, and come about through dvarim b'teilim, and really how to get out of poverty and come into ashiras to kedusha, and then ultimately how to find our positive mission in this world. May Hashem mamish bless us to know our mission in this world. Hashem, to give you nachas, and Bezrat Hashem.